Alright guys, welcome back to What If Turles Was Canon. Hope you're all enjoying this series. With all that being said, let's get to the Namek arc, but this Namek arc will be quite different.
We cut to Vegeta. After Vegeta got out of the healing tank, he realized something. He was gonna die if he stayed with Frieza. If Frieza realized there was rebel Saiyans out there, he would get suspicious of Vegeta and kill him. And this would only manage to piss him off more about the Saiyan race, too. So Vegeta couldn't stay loyal to him. However, if he left, the Crusher Corps can just kill him, or the Frieza Force if they hunt him down. There's really nothing he can do, but then he came up with an idea to lure them both to a planet to wipe them out. As Vegeta made sure he had his scouter on, he started to run away, as Kui wanted to talk to him. As he was running, Kui would appear in front of him and say, "Hello, Vegeta." "Where do you think you're going so fast?" Vegeta would smirk and say, "I'm going to get immortality to kill Frieza." Kui would look shocked. You what? How could you say such a thing?" "It doesn't matter, But then Vegeta would simply blow up.
As Kui died and said, "I'm going straight to Namek. You'll see me as the Emperor of the Universe soon enough, Frieza." As then he flew off and threw the scouter away. He did this so Frieza would know about where Vegeta's going. And he said Namek not because he knew about the Dragon Balls, because he knew there's a Crusher Corps member who was actually a Namekian. So he assumed the Crusher Corps owned planet Namek, so when the Frieza Force came, they would have a massive battle, and he could watch and see if he can pick off the winner. And if not, he would simply fly off. As he just flew straight to Namek. As he landed on Namek, Vegeta would learn about the Dragon Balls that they're torturing some Namekians. And suddenly he would realize what he just did, as he needed to get the Dragon Balls before Frieza can. As we cut to Frieza himself. Frieza would be on his throne, pissed off that Vegeta would betray him like this. This seems so obviously to be a trap, but who cares? Vegeta would probably just do an artificial moon, which Frieza can easily overpower. And even if Vegeta did become stronger and found some way to hide it, Frieza himself has transformation, so he wasn't scared. Frieza decided to go to planet Namek, and as he went there, we cut to Turles. Turles will be listening in on this, and he knew most likely it was a lie, but even if there was a tiny chance of this being true, he can't let Frieza or Vegeta get immortality. If so, their empire will crumble. Everything they have will be destroyed. Turles would look at Raditz and say, "It seems you'll be useful after all," as he threw him a couple fruits and said, "Eat these." Raditz says, "The fruit? Yes, it will make you stronger." Raditz began to eat the fruit from the Tree of Might, as suddenly he began to shake. His muscles began to expand, as he felt the power course through him. "So this power, it's amazing." Kakarot would look at him and say, "It is, isn't it, brother? This is the power we got for destroying planets. This is the power we got for devouring all the life forms. This is the power that we'll use to defeat Frieza. We've all been training and eating some fruit, but I don't know if it'll be enough." Turles would say, "We're gonna have to find out now. And maybe if we get this wish, or whatever, we can become immortal." But then, suddenly Turles had an idea. There would probably be Dragon Balls on Namek, since, the Dragon Balls were on Earth, so they could probably stop them from getting the Dragon Balls. Vegeta was actually telling the truth, whether he knew it or not, as they all decided to travel to Namek. As they went to Namek, Frieza would begin looking around, as he would try to get the Dragon Balls. Vegeta would hide, waiting for him to collect them all so they could steal them, just like in Canon. As Vegeta waited, however, the Crusher Corps arrived, and they wanted to get down straight to business and take on Frieza, but before they could do that, they had to take over all his guards. They had a plan, however. They sent King Piccolo off to find the Grand Elder. As King Piccolo began to sense energy level after energy level, and eventually he found it. As Nail looked at him and said, "You're quite evil for a Namekian. Why are you here?" "I want to protect the Grand Elder. If he dies, we can't use the Dragon Balls. And we are your planet's only hope, even if we are a bit evil. We..." "That's right. I belong to the Crusher Corps. Now, let me in, pathetic Nail, before I destroy you and make myself come home." As Nail was about to fight, would look at it and say, "Let him in." Nail would say, "But, sir..." "No, let him in." As Piccolo walked in, he would say, "Do you know how to hide your power level?" "Yes." Well then, why the hell are you here? Kinda obvious where you're at. We need to find you a better hiding spot. If you die, the Dragon Balls will go away. Don't worry, we'll stop them all here. We'll wish back everyone. Guru would say, you can only wish one person back at a time with these Dragon Balls. Piccolo looked a bit shocked and said, why the hell would you make it that way? King Piccolo didn't care about the Namekians himself. However, he did want to wish all of them back to life, and then wish to forcibly fuse with all of them to gain all of their power and to keep his personality. If he managed to do this, he could overthrow Turles and everyone. However, this was a dud. There was no way he could achieve his goal now. It was squashed. However, he had a new plan. Vegeta hated them all, and Piccolo would ask, how many wishes does this orb have? The Grand Elder Guru would say 3. This intrigued King Piccolo. Maybe he could betray them for Vegeta, and him and Vegeta can rule the universe. Temporarily, of course, until King Piccolo got rid of him. After all, an enemy of my enemy is my friend, and he was tired of being told what to do by Turles. However, that would have to wait, as they needed to take down Frieza first. As Vegeta was hiding in the shadows, and Frieza was gathering more and more Dragon Balls, they waited until he almost gathered them all, as then it was finally time for them to strike. As Turles would look at them and say, do you know the plan? King Piccolo would nod. The plan was for Piccolo to come in, turn giant, and distract them. So then, Turles and the others can steal the Dragon Balls. And then they would all join in for a battle. As suddenly, as Frieza went in his spaceship, the ground began to shake, and King Piccolo fired a ki blast from his mouth, killing everyone as he turned giant. Frieza, get over here! I'm gonna kill you for murdering my people! As Frieza flew in and said, well, isn't the little Namekian that could? Or should I say, big Namekian? Frieza then looks right at King Piccolo and said, you think a giant green man scares me? As then he would knock him to the floor. As they both began the battle, his giant form didn't make him stronger. In fact, it actually did the opposite. It didn't make him weaker, but it made him a huge target that gave him a big disadvantage during this fight. As Frieza was easily able to hit him with everything he had, causing Piccolo to be, let's just say, on the back foot a bit, to say the least. As that was going on, Turles and the others gathered the Dragon Balls and brought it back to their base. Then they left. As Vegeta was hiding, he saw them, but there was Nail there too. He could sense that Nail was stronger than him. This pissed him off. However, Vegeta had a plan to defeat him. He was going to have to use his Rosaru form, and since they're all going to fight Frieza, they would be distracted enough for him to use it. Vegeta would wait until the battle began. He could feel their energies going at it, as then he flew up an artificial moon and became a great ape. As he would rip open the tunnel so he can walk in, Nail looked at him and said, so you're a Saiyan. I've heard legends of them, but I've never seen them in person. What do you want? I want the Dragon Balls, so I can become immortal, so I can get my revenge, so I can show the universe the great Prince Vegeta. Nail looked at him as they both began to battle each other. As they both started fighting, we cut to Frieza, as suddenly giant apes would all surround Frieza and blast him with ki blast. As this actually started to damage him, Turles laughed, says, your time is over, Frieza. As Frieza looked at him and said, no, it's not. And since I don't want this video to go on forever, Frieza just transformed straight to his final form. As then they began to outclass all 3 of them. As Frieza would cut off all their tails with a death slicer as they fell to the floor. And King Piccolo would transform back to his base form, no longer wanting to be a big target. As Frieza began to laugh, you monkeys honestly thought you can beat me just by turning big and scary? You're Frieza, Emperor of the Universe, and some big dumb ape will not cause me to die. As suddenly Raditz would charge in, as Frieza would grab him by the neck and snap it. As Kakarot saw his brother die, he wasn't too close to him, but he was still his brother, and they still built some sort of a bond. Kakarot would yell, Frieza, as he charged, similar to how his father did, but he would never know that. Frieza would kick Kakarot to the ground. As this was going on, King Piccolo would jump into the water and swim away, escaping. As we cut back to Vegeta. Vegeta would kill Nail when he was about to use Dragon Balls, but he didn't have the password. He would yell angrily. But then, King Piccolo would show up behind him saying, "I have the password and I have an idea." Vegeta would begin to look over as he would ask what it was his idea. "I can give you the password and we can both become immortal and we can kill them." Vegeta would nod. As Vegeta and King Piccolo had their differences, but King Piccolo just wanted to cause death and mayhem, and he didn't want to be told what to do. And even though Vegeta wasn't really too fond of Namekians, he did respect King Piccolo's drive, and he really needed him, and this was the only way to get what he wanted, so he had reluctantly agreed. As they summoned the dragon, they wished to be immortal, as then Vegeta killed the dragon, as suddenly Turles would look up and say, "No, Vegeta must have got the wish, but we had Nail guard it. How could this be? He must have became an Anzaru." As Frieza said, "The wish, But then Frieza would look shocked as he realized Vegeta was immortal. This would piss Frieza off beyond end, as suddenly Vegeta and King Piccolo would both fly in. As Vegeta would say, "Hey, bastard Frieza, you ready to die?" Frieza would then look irritated, as then he smirked. "You're an idiot. Both of you are idiots. You'll be punished for all eternity, floating through space." As suddenly Frieza would fly towards them, as he punched Vegeta and King Piccolo, send them flying up, as they would shoot a ki blast falling back down to the planet. Frieza would fight them both. As the battle continued, Frieza had a plan. He would have knocked them out into space and hoped they can't come back. He didn't know how the immortality thing worked. Maybe you just die and come back. But Frieza's only hope was to knock out into space, and eventually he did it, as King Piccolo and Vegeta would die and come back over and over and over again. Immortality is just a resurrection. At least in this story it is. As then, Goku and Turles both charged at Frieza and hit them with everything they had, but it wasn't enough. Frieza began to torture them, humiliate them, break their bones. Even with all the fruits they've eaten, it wasn't enough to defeat Frieza. As Goku looked up and said, "It was an honor fighting for you, father." Turles said, "It was an honor fighting with you too." As suddenly, Frieza would step on Goku's neck, snapping it, or at least making it look snapped. Goku looked dead, but he was actually paralyzed. Turles would look at Goku, and emotions would start to come from his body, as he actually cared about Goku. Goku was there for him for a long time. Even though the fruit plan didn't work, it would have if he stayed eating fruit long enough. And Goku was there for all of it. Emotion starts to go through his body. As Turles began to scream, the entire planet shook, as he became a Super Saiyan. As Frieza saw Turles, he would begin to walk back scared, said, What are you?" "I am the legendary Super Saiyan, and I am the ruler of this universe." As he fired a ki blast, Frieza would fire a death beam. They would both hit each other, as the beam went straight to Frieza and killed him. As Frieza was dead, Turles looked at Goku and picked him up. He could feel his heart beating. He quickly rushed over with him in a spaceship. Meanwhile, as Vegeta and King Piccolo would float in space, dying and being resurrected, a spaceship would come for them months later. This spaceship will be King Cold's spaceship, and that is we're going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video so far down below. I mean, the series, not video. Sorry, I'm really tired. I mean, I could go back and fix what I said, but, it's 5 a.m. right now, and I just want to go to bed. I was determined to make this video. I procrastinated a bit, and now it's 5 a.m. I've been making videos and uploading them when I wake up. So yeah, that's why you begin videos at noon and stuff. I have no idea what time I'm going to wake up now, though. So whatever time you see this, it's probably 10 to 15 minutes after I woke up, because that's how long it takes for it to get to YouTube. So yeah, hope you all love this series. I know I do. Peace out.